Welcome on back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we've got something a little bit special for you guys. I get a ton of submissions for the top 5, and every now and then you guys send me a clip that is a fantastic fight, but it is way too long for a top 5 and kind of warrants an episode to itself. And that brings us to this fight, which was sent in by Hexys. He's a fellow content creator for the Elder Scrolls Online, and he sent in an amazing fight on his Stamina Warden, and I am so happy to be able to share this fight with everyone. As always, be sure to check out Hexys on YouTube and on Twitch. Links are down in the description for you guys. And without further ado, let's get into this fight. So right off the bat, Hexys putting the work into these guys on this staircase. The blue players right away trying to res the two players that were killed, and Hexys already having the Dawnbreaker from getting those kills earlier, quickly dropping the next Dawnie on that player, getting trolled by that loading screen as always. And now he's got just one opponent left, and Hexys just feeding him the dizzying swings here, trying to just rotate the combos, but he sees more blue players coming in the bottom. And Hexys is just going to reset with his Subterranean into the dizzy swing. The enemy player responds with the stun, and Hexys just being very conservative with the heavy attacks on this build. I love how he's always timing those heavy attacks on the opposing players, and then right away going for that combo again. And this other player here has a lot of hit points, and he's doing a good job just kind of dodging the attacks. But Hexys gets a good off-balance stun there, connects with the good combo. But this guy is right away into his healing ult. He does not have the healing power to back up that hit point value, though. And there you see him just explode from 60% hit points. Hexy dropping a huge combo on him. And here comes more blue players up this staircase. Hexy's just going for that heavy attack off the Immobilize into the roll. Again, great resource conservation there. And he's just going to do a little bit of a kite on these guys. Look how he's running through them as they're going around the corner. That forces a very lengthy turnaround from them. Just kind of buying Hexy's time not to get hit. A big pile on from the enemy players there, and right away splitting through them with the roll. Really great tactic down the staircase, and they all chase down the staircase. A huge Dawnbreaker by Hexys there, and he decides not to stick that out offensively, but use it just as a defensive stun, and it was a really great call and just fantastic movement here. He's always cutting the angle, running through them when he breaks line of sight from them, and it just takes longer for the blue players to get around those corners, and Hexy able to just conserve a lot of resource like this. He's getting the heavy attacks off as he goes for those kites too. Really good movement, but he's forced out from the bottom. Just a ton of pressure from the blue players, and he cannot out-heal that damage. He knows it. He heads up to the top of the tower here, taking a nasty Dawnbreaker from that guy. The other blue players jumping on top. Hexys goes for the shield ultimate right away. I think that was a fantastic call. Look at the blue players just jumping on him right away. Don't want to show weakness when you have a lot of players attacking you like that. If you let your hit points drop, they will go for the killing blow. And Hexy's managing to get a good opening on that player there, but he's fairly low resource here. Just using his potion there too. And he's got all his heals up, and again, just working his way through the group, weaving back through them, getting those heavy attacks on his sword and board bar. And now he's at the bottom here. He finds this poor guy by himself. Oh no, level 16. This guy unfortunately dead on the loading screen again. And Hexys just gets stunned from the player behind there, and these two wanted to pick up the body, but it looks like he's just going to take the res. A big Dawnbreaker there, Hexys with the follow-up on the two Executioners. Actually, the second player going down to the Dawnbreaker dot there, and now this last guy here having taken a big shot from that Dawnbreaker too. He is going to eat the combo. There's the Executioner as well. And Hexy's managing to clean up not all the blue players there, but killing quite a few of them as the rest of the group has moved on to defend the front of the keep here. And this is where, man, one person in Cyrodiil can make a huge difference. Hexy's just kind of cleaning up the guards here, and he's going to distract as many blue players as he can and fight them in the keep here. And on top of it, after being able to survive that fight, Hexys is going to get the res on a fellow player here, just amplifying the amount of damage they're going to do to the back of the siege line. And they just start fencing with the first couple players that come in here. A lot of aggro from the guards as well. The meteor coming down. Hexy's just blocking the meteor with his shield and going right back to rotating on the NPCs. More blue players start to trickle in as well. And Hexy sets a good combo on that one player there, connecting with the Execute as he's trying to roll away. Just good timing. And getting a fantastic stun with the Arctic Blast heal, following it up with the Dawnbreaker into the Execute. And just a ton of back-to-back kills as Hexy and the friendly player here just push outside of the tower. But they're not going to push too far. There's a lot of blue players standing in that courtyard. and they are definitely going to take less arrow fire if they can pull them in here, and there's still blue players to finish off, and finishing off the last guard as well. The blue player's just kind of sitting at the door now. Hexys just very low stamina, but being very aggressive, just kind of feeling his opportunity to go for the kill there. And he brings down another player with that Dawnbreaker, the execute, and moving on to the next player there. And I love how he's just weaving his buffs, and when there's players close to them, just tons of heavy attacks. Even doing it on the bear from the Warden there. Such a good playstyle to get into the hang of, and Hexys just absolutely mastered the ability to weave those heavy attacks just cleanly with the rest of his skills, and he's just getting so much damage into these guys, just connecting with huge combos, the Dawnbreaker and the Subterranean. Unfortunately hitting the tankier player there with the front of the attack that time, and the enemy players going for their ultimate. Hexys doesn't want to sit in that. Having that high hit point value allows him to take quite a bit of abuse from burst, but he does not, again, want to let his hit points drop too low. And great movement here on those two blue players, just forcing the turnaround over and over. And they're just missing all their attacks on Hexys. He's just pivoting around everybody. Gets a great Dawnbreaker again. Unfortunately, getting hit by the counter stun from the other player. It might have been the NPC there. It was kind of hard to see. And here comes the blue group just charging up top. Hexy's just going to reset his buffs. The friendly player here also dropping down. And they're going to try to put some pressure into the first player they run into. Unfortunately, the blue player comes charging, or the blue group comes charging down. Hexy's just going for that re-enchant in the middle of the fight. I love it. And then right away working on the players at the bottom here. This guy doesn't have a ton of hit points. Hexy's connecting good damage on him. Unfortunately, not able to stick the combo out, taking a lot of pressure from the rest of the blue. He's going to have to head back up the staircase here, just healing away that damage, using line of sight and just hitting the blue wherever he can get an opportunity to hit these guys. And there you see the other friendly player managing to pick up a kill as well. And he tries to get up the staircase. Hexy's just feeling the force from that group as it chases the player around the corner there. And Hexy's taken a lot of pressure himself. They seem to have split the blue group up, which is definitely ideal for both their survival, but still a lot of pressure to take. And Hexy's just doing a great job again with his movement on that staircase. Just kind of seeing where the group is hurting towards and constantly moving behind them. Not sticking out that offensive combo either. He did put a little bit of damage in, but again, Hexy's just not feeling safe in that spot. Heading back down to the bottom here. A huge opportunity as he connects a huge combo on that first player that comes around the corner. And another lower level player coming in here too. Hexy's just seeing the weaker player, quickly finishing him off before he can get that res. And then moving on to the 8-10. Hitting him with a nice combo there as more players come around the corner here. Hexy's just resetting his Subterranean into the Dizzy Swing, staying very offensive here, just kind of forcing these guys outside of the tower, finishing that guy off with the Dawnbreaker. And there we see he kind of exposed his position. A lot of blue players jumping off the tower there to shoot at him as well. And it looks like a Nightblade coming in stealth on the doorway. And Hexy's just rotating those heavy attacks again, trying to conserve that resource. And keeping his heals up here as well. Taking a bit of damage from these guys. They're throwing down the Blast Bones on Hexys too. Just resets that. Really great movement. Getting behind the group. A huge Dawnbreaker. Light attack into the Executioner. Nice damage to finish him off. And Hexys again connecting with a huge Subterranean into the light attack Executioner, finishing another player there too. The blue player's trying to res. Really cheeky bash there. I like how quick that was. Again getting that bash. Hexys just so quick with the cancel there. And now it's time to go for the Dizzy. He's got him set off balance too. Just continuing to put the Executioners in. The enemy player just holding block. Not able to survive it. And the blue player's just continuing to pour on this location. Hexy's just dropping people at the door like crazy. And too many blues. He's going to back up a little bit and just pull them down to the bottom here. Sets down that Subterranean again after resetting his buffs. Just weaving those heavy attacks around. The Greatsword Heavy, of course, does have Splash, so it's going to hit the target he wants. Really great combo, I think, especially for the Stamina Warden. The Greatsword Heavy into the Subterranean and the Dawnbreaker. So much AoE. And there we see another huge heavy attack into the Dawnbreaker. Going for those Executioners. Unfortunately, the enemy player there having quite a bit of bulk. Despite his lower level, tons of hit points and healing power. And he's going to be able to just tank that out. Hexy's trying to commit to bringing this guy down. But he's just going to keep pounding the heals. Hexy's taking a bit of pressure from the rest of the blue at the back of the siege line. But it looks like a lot of them have focused on what's going on at the front of the keep. It looks like Hexy's faction is helping him out here and pushing inside. So he's just going to have to hold out until they get through the door, I guess. And he's just going to reset the buffs again, move his way to the top of the keep, and look at this beautiful back of the siege line. Huge Dawnbreaker. One player going down to the Dawnbreaker right away. And there's the Executioners to finish off the other two. Hexy's just picking up some nice AP off of these guys. And right back to the game in the doorway. Just really, really great movement. And those blue players, man, they are having a hell of a time trying to target Hexys as he weaves around inside of the keep here. And he just keeps feeding this guy the dizzy swings there, finishing him off with the Executioner. And then right away, the other player there goes into a shield ult. Hexys is not going to stick around for that. Sees this guy going for the res, trying to take advantage of the opportunity to take down that tankier player. But again, he's got a lot of bulk to him. And Hexys, seeing this Nightblade that just got rezzed, is going to go for the target shift. But a lot of pressure from the blue. They're picking up a lot of the dead bodies. And it looks like more players are also running into the bottom of this keep here. But Hexys has put so much work into these blue players. The friendly player looks like he went down quite a bit of time ago. And Hexys is just teasing these guys on the siege, continuing to hit them with those subterraneans and just weaving heavy attacks around. Conserving the resource, he sees the player with lower hit points there, just slaps the Dawnbreaker down on him, right away finishing him off. And trying to just do work on the guys at the top of the staircase here. But more blues start pouring in. Hexy's going into the block, dropping down, rotating those heals. He's going to dodge down again, moving behind the opposing blue players here. And the group actually just splits up. And it just leaves this guy by himself to fight Hexys. This is that tankier player that's been a pain in the butt the whole fight. Definitely got some CP on that level 43 there, and Hexy's just going to shift targets again. Doesn't want to commit too much time or resource to that. Seeing a lower level player, just quickly finishing him off, and seeing what he can do against this siege line there. A huge Dawnbreaker. There's the Subterranean going for the Executioners. Unfortunately, not able to pick up a kill there. The blue players responding a lot faster than they did the last time. And Hexy's connecting a great combo as he comes around the corner there. Just good kite movement. Again, he's losing so many blue players by cutting these corners and changing directions and running through them. Some of the blue players don't even see him do that, and they go the wrong way entirely. And Hexy's able to just continue to kite them at the bottom here, resetting his buffs with a little bit of kite game and a huge Dawnbreaker slapping everybody behind there. Going for the Executioners. One blue player goes down, and Hexy's just rotating his heals there, weaving those heavy attacks off his sword and board bar. And I think he wants to use the body at the doorway here as kind of bait. The enemy players dropping their ultimate there with the Necromancer as well. And Hexy's able to stick out the kill, managing to drop to the bottom to avoid the rest of that ultimate. The blue players follow him as well. Unfortunately, it looks like they're going to be able to get some reses at the top. But yeah, Hexy's going to have a hard time trying to keep all the bodies down in this fight. And there we see again, he just connects on the players, not looking where what's going on, taking advantage of it. Hexys finishes him off, and right away taking pressure from these other blue players, blocking that incoming meteor, still getting hit by a stun. I believe it might have been a streak that hit him there. And Hexys is just surrounded by blue here. I mean, it doesn't matter how many he kills, they're just going to keep rezzing the bodies. And he's just going to have to do his best to continue to hold the rest of this fight. I want to say a massive thank you and shout out to Hexys for sending in this fight. It was absolutely fantastic. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Again, be sure to check out Hexys on YouTube and on Twitch. Links down in the description below. If you guys want to send in your own clips for the top 5, or if you want to send in a build to be featured on the channel, you can send it to KristoferESO@hotmail.com. Be sure to check me out on Twitch if you guys want to catch me live, or if you guys want to keep up to date with what's going on, you can follow me on Twitter as well. Check out my website, KristoferESO.com, for written guides to all of my builds. It's a hub for all of my ESO content too. We are sponsored by What the Fast. They're a VPN for gamers. They can give you better ping to your favorite games, free to try for the first month, link down in the description below. A huge shout out and thank you to all of my patrons on Patreon. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this, so thank you everybody for supporting. Look at this, Hexy's managing to hold out until his friendly players broke the walls. Thank you everybody for tuning in as well. Have a great night, everyone, and I'll see you next time.